We're back. Hey guys, PT here for a new week, a new series, a new devotional series that we're going over this week and a little bit into next week. And again, thank you guys for allowing us to take a break last week. We just wanted to catch our breath a little bit and kind of just enjoy the week and have a good Father's Day weekend and all those things. But guys, we're ready to get this thing started. We're ready to dive into a new devotional series titled How to Stop Worrying. Now, this series is going to be a little bit shorter than the last few series that we've done. It's only going to be 4 days, but it's good and it's important. And I think this series is vital. I think a lot of us can spend a lot of time, especially now, in our own heads and worrying about things that aren't even necessarily worthy. But before we dive in too much, I want to read a couple of scriptures to get this thing started. The first one is in Proverbs chapter 12, verse 25, and it says this: anxiety in a person's heart weighs it down, but a good word cheers it up. And then another passage of scripture, Isaiah chapter 41, it says this: do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will hold on to you with my righteous right hand. So there's actually quite a few definitions for worry in the dictionary and all the internet explanations, but we're going to stick to this one because I think it applies most to how we actually use worrying, and it's this: it's to torment oneself with cares and anxieties. I mean, let's think about that for a second. Worrying is not just having something that's built up on the inside of us, but it's choosing to actually keep it there and to torment and to make it more intense, to make it more troublesome, to make it more chaotic in our own hearts and our own minds and our own heads. And that's the thing about worry. The ironic part in all of this is that worry doesn't even always apply to things that we know for sure are going to happen. In fact, I would dare say that worrying happens most of the time to things that we don't know are going to happen. It's the fear of the unknown. It's the fear of, well, I don't know if this is going to happen or not, or I don't know how I'm going to get this job or not, or I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to this grade next year, right? You know, different things like that. It's things that we have built up on the inside of us and we choose to torment ourselves with. And another way to think about this is it's like fire. It's like when we choose to think more and more about the thing that's been worrying us, it's like we're adding fuel to the fire, and it just engulfs more in it, and it just brings more intensity, and it brings more pain to our hearts and into our minds and into our everyday lives. And then the real downside to having worry in our hearts is that when we choose to worry more, when we choose to focus on the things that we don't know the most and the things that make us most uncomfortable and the things that make us just not feel good, is that it actually distances us away from God. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying that if you have worry in your life that you don't have a good relationship with God. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when we choose to worry more and to look more at the things that we don't understand, we are choosing to trust God less. Now, think about this: is God is all good and he loves you and he cares for you, and ultimately he knows what's going to happen. And so therefore we should be putting our heart and our trust in him. We should be looking at him for where we need to go next, and that when there are things that are around us that are making us worry, we need to be going to our Father who knows the things and who we can rely on. And even aside from just knowing things, we can just put our heart and our rest in him. In fact, there's one more passage of scripture that I want to read. It's in 11. Let me try that again. Matthew chapter 11, starting in verse 28. It says this: come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take up my yoke and learn from me, because I am lowly and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Jesus wants us to know that we might have worries in our life. We might have valid things that are going on that might cause stress. But when we choose to go to him, he makes things lighter. He makes things, it doesn't feel as hard. It doesn't feel as burdensome. It doesn't just swell up and overtake our hearts and our emotions, but rather we get to share the journey with Jesus. We get to share the experience with him and get to rely on him, to go and just be held by him and to be loved by him. And so today, I want to encourage you all to maybe, instead of focusing at the things that you've been worrying about, to maybe put your attention on Jesus, to put your attention on him, to rely on him, to pray, to just trust him with the things that maybe you can't see, And I believe that once you start doing that, you're going to see that your mood, that your attitude, and that even your demeanor is going to begin to change for the better. So guys, I want to thank you again so much for joining us for the first day in the new series, How to Stop Worrying. I believe this is going to be a great series for all of us because it's going to be something that we all need to remember every once in a while. So guys, I love you. Have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic week. Bye guys.